Hello, and welcome to another update on XRP. So on the XRP chart, I continue to track a bullish structure, continue to move higher from here, or continue to track higher prices from here. I haven't called any major top in place, and we're also not bearish necessarily. All I'm saying is this move here is just quite a let's say, quite an extended sideways structure that's developing there, and we're dealing with corrective structures to the downside and corrective structures to the upside. We're still holding all support levels, and so, because of that, I still consider the yellow scenario the leading scenario for now, which means I'm basically watching for an upside reaction here. That could happen in a more direct fashion. That will depend to a degree on the broader market, of course. It could also develop based on, or we could also potentially develop some kind of a triangle pattern here, in which the market simply forms a sequence of higher lows and higher highs before we break higher. The thing is, though, it'll be difficult to break above that 340 level. We seem to be stuck below this level. We couldn't get above it in January. We tried here in July. Okay, pulled back again. Now we're holding below, but without any impulsive downside move. So we are in this difficult, you could say, gray zone. I think that's the best way to describe it, where we are holding support, but we're also holding below resistance, and we're just not really moving up in impulsive structures. So what we see at the moment on the smaller time frame are simply corrective structures, which we take a look at every day, and I continue to highlight to you guys that this is, best described as just some kind of a corrective sideways consolidation. Maybe we are already in the fifth wave, but if we are, I'm talking about the next leg up, then it is not very visible yet. Yeah, it's not very clear to distinguish for now from a triangle, for example, or even a larger correction. So for me, the pivot is still sort of in this area. This area here on the daily chart is holding support for now. I think as long as we're holding the August low, the idea of a triangle or an upside breakout more directly remains plausible, but we need some upside momentum from here. What we've seen yesterday is simply not enough. Then the focus can shift to $5 plus. Now, any break below the August low would likely shift the focus here to a deeper B wave. But first of all, we need a break below previous swing lows, right? That hasn't happened. But yeah, it can start to shift the focus here to this lower support area, 221, 246 as next support levels below. That would be just the next pivot. What is this scenario? Well, it simply means that at the moment I'm tracking this as an upside impulse. So that's likely the most bullish structure that's available, right? Whereas the wave 5 of the third wave seems to be an ending diagonal, just to highlight that. But if we break below the August low, it becomes more probable that this structure is morphing into something different. Now, that might mean that the wave 4 that finished in April is still unfolding. Well, that needs more evidence, but the next best bullish option I have available is to see this as a diagonal pattern itself. So the larger fifth wave that started in April, wave 1, wave 2, and then A, B, C in wave 3. So we can allow for a deeper pullback. Essentially, it would just mean we continue to move in this longer range for a while, right? The context is unchanged, guys. So really, when we talk about the analysis here every single day, it basically just affects the nanostructures. So nothing changing there right now. We haven't even broken any support. So this support zone remains intact. Shared it with you a few days ago. I said, look, I'm still not giving up on the potential that we might break out directly here, but it just hasn't given us any clear impulse to the upside. This is a 3-wave move up. We had a 3-wave move down. We had another 3-wave move down. So we're basically just moving with, or moving in corrective structures up and down. Now, this reaction to this pivot here, to this micro support between 279 and 285, it's potentially impulsive. We've now reached the next resistance lines here around $3.10 and $3.15. But this is itself not large enough to indicate that we are really breaking out. A local low seems to be in place, yeah. But maybe we're just forming a broader triangle pattern. So, as I said, like 3 waves up again, 3 waves down. So support did hold, and we're also holding above the August low. That's good. So really what really would change the tone here is a break above 340. That would really be needed. Okay. Now if we're really pushing higher, then it would have to be an ABC structure. So to map that, I would need to see an A wave, need to see a B wave, and a C wave. This would be the path to breakout. So we could be working on this A wave potentially, but I think what we're watching for next is the development of a 3-wave move up. Let me just shift this. I think what we're watching for here on the nano level is the development potentially of a 3-wave move up in an ABC structure. Now that is just a 3-wave move. That doesn't guarantee eventually an upside breakout, but a 3-wave move makes sense also in the context of a triangle pattern. Yeah, there is no. I don't see the clear pathway to lower prices right now. I did sketch out here a few days ago the potential, but said to you, look, as long as we're holding support, the pathway lower is a little bit. It's not impulsive, so I'm gonna remove it. Still holding all support levels. We stay in the range for now, and I think the focus at the moment is on whether in the next pullback the market can hold yesterday's low and then maybe push higher once more. But 340 remains important resistance. So yeah, not much more here to say. Really just noise here on the smaller time frame. So I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. I also invite you to join us on X for additional chart updates, analysis, memes, yeah, just some fun stuff, and also Elliott Wave education. Feel free to follow us there. The link is in the description and in the comment section. See you over there. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for watching the videos on this YouTube channel. If you've been thinking about joining MCO as a member, now might be a great time. You can use the link in the video description and apply the discount code right below it. You will get 50% off your first month of our Gold membership, and you can explore everything we offer. It's the easiest way to test the membership, see if it's a good fit for you, and get a feel for the community, join the conversation, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in our member area.